How are we doing, guys? Well, those two women, fantastic. Oh yeah, they're a big, hard one to follow. I'm just going to double check it's working. I'm on my own here, so I've got you guys on a selfie stick, on a stepladder on my phone. And I'm going to reload the page here and mute it, so I can just double check that I am working. Yeah, I think it's working. Double check some comments. Yep, Dawn said hi. Hey Dawn, how are you? It's going to be hard for me to check the comments and do the filming, so I'll probably check them all afterwards and respond to everyone if that's okay. Welcome to my living room, which has now become the home of HMS Spirits TV, along with my garden, where we've been doing different cocktails and some other sillier things just to make lockdown a little bit more light-hearted for people. So I thought what I'd do, I do have some notes. I'm not really used to public speaking, and I don't know about anyone else, but this feels like I'm on an answer machine because I can't actually talk to you back. So I'm going to talk about HMS Spirits and how it began. I'm going to talk you through the gins, then we're going to make an appletini. I'm going to do some cocktail hacks as well, something my sister asked me to do, and we're going to finish with one more cocktail just to show you the versatility of gin. So we'll start off with the one you've got. So you've got a miniature of our HMS Spirits Elizabeth gin. It's a blend of our classic London dry with a separate elderflower distillate. It just gives it a really light, floral, honey-like finish. So I don't know, we're kind of using about 3 shots, so maybe save 1 for the cocktail and 1 for the G&T. So I'm going to join you with the gin and tonic before I get started. So plenty of ice. Now, because we've got elderflower in this one, I like to garnish with a nice chunk of orange. A nice generous slug, which will calm the nerves. And my personal choice for this, my 2 friends, Matt and JP, that own Elixir Tonics, they make a beautiful elderflower and lemon. So I'm going to use that, which complements the elderflower really nicely in the gin. That's enough time. So I'll start off with a quick cheers to everybody. So, you see me here, maybe to the side of it. So HMS Spirits, how did it begin? I'm not going to talk everyone through every single botanical, loads of people have done that. So I'll try and just give you a bit more of a background as to the gin itself. It all started now about 6-7 years ago. I went to Budapest on a romantic weekend away, a make or break romantic weekend away. On the last day away we broke up. So that was on the Saturday night. So on the Sunday I went off shopping on my own just so we didn't have to have the awkwardness of hanging out together for a while. And I came across a homebrew shop. I already spent time at home making beer and cider and some really god-awful wine. And I thought I'd give distilling a go. So a friend I played rugby with worked for an airline. He shipped the 35 litre copper still I bought on a whim out there back here for me. And I spent 4 years just distilling in my garage, just as a hobby. Never really anticipated on being anything more than that. It was just something for me to do, take different spirits to barbecues. And then I came up with our original recipe, which at the time was Ben's Moonshine, is now bottled, legal, duty paid as our flagship Mary Rose gin. So I took 5 litres of that to a barbecue, and with the rugby team, and the rugby team do. And my friends really liked it, as well as being really drunk because I took it at 86% ABV. And a few of them said, look, you should give it a go, gin's really popular. I think we were pretty late to the market, but after I got over the hangover the next day, I thought that, you know, if I could kind of brand it nicely, then it would be worth giving it a go. So I sat down, jotted some things on a bit of paper. My granddad was in the British Royal Navy and was a big influence on my life. Growing up with his stories, I live on the south coast, I live down in the New Forest. So spent my whole life kind of on the water, sailing and watching, you know, ships go by. So I thought HMS Spirits would kind of combine his past and hopefully my future, if the business was to be a success. And was nice and quintessentially British, which I kind of wanted it to be, all of the good things about Britain. And so that was kind of where it kind of began. I then had to sit down with my mother over Sunday lunch, and as she went on to the conversation to ask how my house hunting was going, I then had to kind of go on to tell her that the deposit I'd saved for said house was going into starting HMS Spirits instead, to which, like any good responsible mother would, she told me it was one of the worst ideas of my life, and I've had a lot of terrible ideas. But I went away and did it anyway, and then we launched September 2017, I think that's right, yeah. So we're just two and a bit years old now. So we launched with our Mary Rose. This is our classic London Dry. It's very juniper led. We use pink grapefruit peel as one of the botanicals to gently lift the front of the palate, but not be quite as acidic as a lemon or lime. And then we add rosemary to give a really nice soft finish. I think it works really well in a martini, which we're going to do in a moment. The next one we've got is our Dreadnought Gin. This is exactly the same as a Mary Rose in terms of base spirit, but at 57.5%, so it packs a bit more of a punch. One thing I say to people is don't be scared of navy strengths. This often becomes most people's favourite in our range now. Because it's 57.5%, you're not diluting it as much with water to bring it back down after it comes off the still. So it's an incredibly smooth spirit. It will hold flavoured tonics really well. I qualify this with a rhubarb and ginger tonic, and then I use it in quite a lot of the cocktails we've been doing. And then we have the Elizabeth, which is what you guys have got. Again, London Dry, no grapefruit, no rosemary, just a really classic base, and then separately distill our elderflowers and blend the two. So, we're going to go on to make an HMS Appletini. Just to show you guys that, yeah, gin isn't just a gin and tonic, as nice as they are. And this is mainly be spawned by me having too much time on my hands. I've always enjoyed a classic gin and tonic. I'm not generally a big cocktail drinker, but I have a lot of alcohol to play with, a lot of time on my hands, and so I've been kind of reading up on a lot of cocktails, tweaking them, and I've come up with what I think are a couple of quite nice ones. So we get started. So for this one, we're using 50ml of our Elizabeth gin. I must add, this is the first time I've put on a shirt in probably 4-5 weeks. I generally put on jeans, t-shirt and walk my dogs for hours. Of which one's down there, a cute little border terrier. One definitely is not going to be allowed in the room. It's a Bosnian refugee dog. He is a proper lovable rogue, not good in company, so I'll save you that. So we've got a double shot of the Elizabeth gin, 1 shot of Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, a new bottle because I've already gone through one during lockdown. Then we've got a shot of lemon juice, and an egg white. So before lockdown, I'd done nothing at all with egg whites, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking egg whites sound horrific in a cocktail. What they do is react with the lemon to kind of cook in a chemical reaction, and then they just add this beautiful silkiness to the drink, and you're not going to taste the egg as such. Let's give that a good old shake. I did this the other day, and this opened up completely in front of me, so I'm hoping they don't spill on the video. Then we're going to add some ice. That's called dry shake, by the way, before you put the ice in. And then we're going to add, somewhere, 75ml of apple juice. It's just Tesco apple juice, but I put it in a pretty glass bottle. And then a good old shake again. Ooh, just be gentle. Big glass. So nice martini glass. Normally I really like these in the freezer. They keep the drink nice and cold, and they look nice too when they come out frosted, but for the purposes of the video it's easier to do this. And then we need to strain. So we'll double strain this. And I shall bring it to the camera to show you. Is that a bit closer? Cheers. Oh, light, refreshing, citrusy, really, really smooth. Garnished with just a nice little bit of orange there. So that's drink number one, nice and easy. Using all the proper cocktail equipment, nothing fancy. You can buy all of this stuff on Drink Stuff, Amazon. I guess have a julep strainer, mainly just for ice and bits, and then a nice fine strainer if you're going to do a drink like that, and egg whites. It just gives it a really nice finish. Put that out of the way. The next one we're going to do is our signature martini. We came runner-up last year in World's Best Martini. I was glad we didn't win, but that's life. Again, this is a really classic drink. Strains, a lot of people mention it's quite strong, I think it's neat spirits, so yes, same as the Negroni, but one of my favourites. So, nice lot of ice. I'm going to stir this one, as opposed to shake. So, for this we're going to use a double shot of our Mary Rose in this case. I know you don't have Mary Rose there, but you might want to get a bottle afterwards. And we're going to do the dirty martini, so we're going to add an olive and a tiny bit of brine. I'm going to use a nice vermouth. Please, if you're going to make a martini, don't buy cheap vermouth. It just makes the drink horrible. This one we use is Dolin Italian vermouth. We use this in the competition that we went into last year. So I'm going to just use about 15 ml of that. And we're doing for time, 15 minutes or so. Tiny bit of the brine. And then stir it. One, it chills it down, and two, you get some dilution from the ice cubes. I see professional barmen twist it both ways, so I do it because it makes me feel a bit more pro. I don't really think there's a reason to do it both ways. I should probably have a clever reason to do it. Then we're just going to garnish that with one of the pitted green olives. In terms of garnish, have a play with it. The little onions, silver skin onions, little gherkins go well. So that's our classic martini. Cheers. I've got to drink all these afterwards, so I'm going to be wrecked tonight. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Right, so cocktail hacks. You're at home, you don't have any cocktail equipment, but you want to make something. My sister uses her gym shaker. She's got a measuring jug. This is 70, so from there just half it, quarter it, whatever you want to do. And then she's got a little tea strainer. I've got this. I bought it at one of the shows. I did a gin fest for that. It's for tea. You just put little tea leaves in it. But it'll work fine as a strainer. So this we're going to do the Rising Sun. I didn't promote it on the group, but all the information I can put up afterwards. My mum came up with this idea for Easter. She's desperate to help me. She wanted the Rising Sun, Easter, Jesus. She also suggested I dress up as Jesus, to which I said was probably relatively offensive to some people. So I took the name, I didn't dress up as Jesus and do it online. So, again, we're going to add 50ml Mary Rose, or if you want to make it a bit more pokey, Dreadnought. In case some of you have seen me before and don't recognise me, I have gone with the COVID haircut because no one had invited me to a virtual gin festival when I got my girlfriend to shave my head. Right, we've got 50ml of sweet vermouth. The video before me is maybe you want to go to York just to see the ladies in the shop. What have we got next? Rosemary syrup. What is it? Rosemary syrup. Again, we're using simple syrups. Simple syrup is like 50-50 water to sugar. Just heat it up, boil it down, let it reduce a bit, or just buy it. It's readily available in Tesco's. If you want to do anything else with the syrup, I've got a beautiful chili and ginger one I did last week. So again, just make a simple syrup, 50-50 water to sugar in a pan, and then have a play with what ingredients you want to do. My girlfriend's French, and her mum makes this beautiful rosemary syrup along with some other ones. So we're going to put in, I'm not allowed to, I shouldn't have been using that measure. I should be using this because we're doing cocktail hacks. So we're going to put in a tiny about 15ml of rosemary syrup. The lemon juice again, about 25ml. And I am looking for the egg white. Aha, it's here. I smashed 2 eggs, trying to put them nicely into here with the egg white, so I decided to prep them like blue pizza. On the plus side, I've got 8 chickens in my garden, so I get 3 eggs. Right. We're going to give that another big old shake. And to that, we're going to add 75ml of grapefruit juice. I forgot 15ml of simple syrup in the initial shake, but it's live TV, so I can't be blamed. I mean, I'm an odd human being, but the first thing that went through my mind when I knew I was live was, what happens if I did a Tommy Cooper? There's no one here to turn my phone off for me. You lot would all see me. And again, we're going to strain through my little tea strainer. Well, it takes a while, so I'm just going to pour some in there, because we're on live TV. And then with that, I'm going to garnish with, somewhere I've put, oh, it's on the floor. I'm not going to put it in the drink, so I've dropped it. But a nice, fresh, little, wow, whoops, I'm tall, it's a problem. A nice bit of rosemary on top. So that is our Rising Sun. That's kind of us done, other than to say I hope everyone's doing well during lockdown. I know it's not what we wanted. For us specifically, we've had 2 loss-making years. We're a new business. We invest a lot. This was due to be our year, so the lack of shows and gin festivals has been bad. But it's allowed me to take some time out and think about how I want the business to be moving forward. We're launching a competition next week, or week after next, because we managed to win some free billboard advertising nationwide. So they've told us it's 100 grand's worth. It's not, because no one will actually pay that during this time. But you know, we've got a nationwide billboard advertising campaign, which is fantastic. I've managed to update the website, which has been good. So I think that we've made the most of this situation, and hopefully we'll come out as a better company. I think these things are fantastic ideas. People are coming up with new ideas all the time. So yeah, don't get down about it. Make the most of it. Thanks to Lena for doing this. I think it's a great idea. And, you know, from the comments, I can't see my ones yet, but everyone else seems to be having fun because she's put it on. Our website's hmsspirits.com. We've got 25% off for the whole of lockdown using code STAYSAFE. That's off the entire range. You can follow us at HMS Spirits on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I've got a TikTok and a Snapchat. I don't know how to use it, so I need my stepdaughter to help me with that at some point. Other than that, thanks very much for your time. Hope you get a chance to make these and enjoy them. Been nice talking to everyone who was nervous. Hope it hasn't been terrible. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and hopefully see some of you face to face when things kick off again soon. I'm going to go behind and turn it off. Take care, guys.